around the ponds and across the sort of where you're stood, Tom, and where Angela's falling over and stuck. If you need any help being pulled out, then we can ring the AA.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll build the dead hedges around the ponds, and then we'll build, if we've got enough time, one between them as well, in terms of just protecting the brook. And the great thing is that they're also then creating habitats for themselves. So you're creating, you're protecting the ponds, but we're also creating new little habitats. And when the froglets emerge from the ponds, bleary-eyed, starting their journey of life, they'll sort of probably be underneath here. And it's quite nice when you're putting the hazel in and other things, you'll start to see a little bit of growth in there. So it'll be just great for all sorts of bugs, and so the more insects we have, that's great for the birds and great for the bat population locally as well. The only other thing we were thinking about doing, what we'll have to do, is just clear out the little silt traps. So at the edge up here, that's sort of like oval shape. So we've dug that out, just collects all the silt. But we have to sort of clear it out, and we probably need another little one over there because there's just so many sort of little bits of tributaries of brooks and things coming in. And in terms of building the dead hedge, I mean, it's the main. So what we'll probably need to do first is collect hazel that we can use for the stakes. So this is the sort of put these in first. We've got a pile there. We did some coppicing back in November, so sort of going down that way, there's some wood that we'll need to bring up, and then we put the stakes in first. About.
Cut them to size.
Sorry? You cut them to size. Thank you very much. And then we probably, in terms of putting them in the ground, we want them to about 25% of the bit of wood in the ground, so it gives it that stability. And then once we've got the posts in, we can start putting in the wood. And then again, there are sort of lots of different advice in terms of what you do, but what we did here is we just put some of the larger bits of wood on the base and then just stacked it up. And then we can sort of just go round. I think on that pond, because it's a steeper bank, we'll probably just need to think carefully about maybe just doing it slightly away, and then probably just leaving a few gaps underneath so that things can get in and out at their own leisure. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. And then probably what the best thing to do is, there's trying to pull his boot out, probably to work in. I feel like a teacher now. I could do one, but probably what we'll need to do first is just probably go and collect both the wood for the stakes, or the technical term is, so we can go and collect some wood down there, and then just sort of foraging around here for the bits of branches and twigs. There's quite a few hazel around here, so we can do a little bit of coppicing if we need to get some more wood. If anyone's got any pruning saws. But yeah, the plan is to sort of put the dead hedges around the ponds, obviously leaving the gaps to where the springs are, and then between the ponds, probably initially on this side, depending on the amount of time we've got. One thing we may want to think about is if we want to do pond dipping, how we actually get access, because otherwise we'll be leaning over, like a 9-year-old leaning over, and then the next moment they're in there. So we may need to think about that in terms of, again, the beauty of these is you can sort of deconstruct and rebuild as and when. But yeah, I think that's the sort of main. Any questions about techniques? So hopefully some of you may have done dead hedging before. I think it's an art form that you'll grow into, and you'll develop a new skill. You'll upskill yourself today, and you'll be dead hedging wherever you go. But it's something which is just a really nice, quick way of creating a sort of a barrier and a new habitat in terms of everyone trying to plant.
You can weave some of the
So like
viable branches
in and out.
around. That will give it a bit more structure. And we've put those posts facing each other, but you could do them, slightly staggered, and that would give you a different thing. But I think the beauty of these is to do your own thing, really, and build.
And add your own signature and stamp and style.
Yeah, I think so, because that's the fun of it too.
And Mike, what were you saying about the
So I thought it would, yeah, similar one, probably along, yeah, just this side maybe. Yeah, just because I think there was, and obviously they're very tempting for dogs. And I was talking to some colleges last year, there was a pond in Seminole where dogs were going in, and basically they said there was literally nothing in there. They put the fencing around and everything came back. So recognising that it's very, very tempting for us all to sort of have a bit. I'll probably be the first one today. But yeah, I was going to go down and collect some